Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the Youth Talk Show, courtesy of PCEA Unity Youth, where we share real stories from real people with the aim to educate and learn from others' experiences with your lovely host, Eve.
Hi guys, welcome to our today's podcast. I am your host Eve Kemoro. Today we are going to talk about community transformation, and I am joined by an amazing guest who is going to talk to us about community service. And before we start, I would like to read a verse. Luke chapter 6 verse 38. It says, "Give and it shall be given unto you, a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over will be poured into your bosoms." And now let me welcome my guest. Hi.
Hello.
Please introduce yourself.
My name is Alex Kimina. I'm a social worker. I'm a youth leader in Deliverance Church Umoja. And I'm also the founder of an initiative called Twajali, which is dedicated to support orphans and vulnerable families, or other families in need. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. So you say that you have an initiative called Twajali.
Yes.
So tell us more about Twajali.
Twajali, like I said, it's an initiative that is dedicated to improve the lives of orphans, or rather what we call the OVC. OVC is orphans and vulnerable children, and also needy families, mostly through humanitarian support, and also psychospiritual counseling and all that. Yes.
So mbona uli choose
Twajali
to start the initiative?
Vitu mob zenye nimecheki mtaani. I grew up in Umo. Niligrow hiyo Umoja 1, then nikaenda Umoja 2. And kuangalia to the setting of our society and kukuwa na mabeste wenye at a young age they lost their parents, and I saw the needs na the issues na zile shida zinawalipitia and all that. Zili ni inspire pia that at least nikifika one day nyanda kuwa na uwezo and all that ya kusaidia watu wenye wako in that situation. And when it comes to family, I grew up in a single parented family, whereby ni madhe tu tulikuwa naye, na niliona zile mahustle na struggles zenye alipitia kutu raise. I have a small brother. Keja yetu inakuangania mavijana. And bringing up boys ni kazi ngumu sana, especially kwa when you're a single mother. And so niliona tu ile pressure anapitia, niliona the challenges anapitia, na ili inspire that at least one day nikiwa na uwezo naweza penda kusaidia ule parent mwenye ako in that position, at least hata kama sitamsaidia sana, but ease kumrelieve from some part of the burden and all that.
Wow.
Yeah.
How amazing. So how do you run Twajali?
Twajali. The setting of Twajali is it's more, we call it a movement, because what we strongly rely on is the contribution of so many young people who most of them are our friends. And we've put it, the system is more of kitu tunaitanga mobilizing. We mobilize people with different gifts who come together, and we tell them, or rather we inspire them to use their gifts and their thinking to come up with solutions to problems that affect the selected group that we have chosen to help and all that. Like for example, I have so many friends who are psychologists, and some of them are in school studying psychology. What we do is we create more of like a network of those friends of mine, and we say that niya just tushikane to create an initiative enye tuna give out free counseling to any young person who is maybe ako in depression, anxiety, stress and all that. So that's the same thing. If you are working, we can at least come together and pull our resources together and direct the resources towards these specific groups so that we can be able to help them and all that. So we rely mostly on, first of all, our friendship, and also bringing our community together so that we can be able to brainstorm and come up with solutions to these problems. Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes it's difficult kuleta watu pamoja.
Yeah.
And then for the purposes of contribution,
yes,
na nini, and whatever the Tuajali require so that it can help the community. What are the challenges you have faced, and what are your greatest achievements during the period you have existed?
Okay. Acha tuanze na bad news kwanza. Number one challenge obviously in finances. Some of these projects and programs that we run are very expensive. And they require a lot of resources as far as funds are concerned. So tumepitia some challenges sana ya like selling these programs and or rather selling them to people so that they can understand the scope and in one or another they can wanaweza tusaidia and all that. And another challenge pia imekuwa ni kuna Tuajali, another setting at Tuajali is we are more events oriented. Events oriented means that when we bring people together, obviously the best way that you can bring them together is through an event. And sometimes also these events require a lot of resources as far as funds are concerned. So kuna kitu inaitangwa kutokwa. Ushaitokwa? Kuna watu wanakutokanga last minute. And sometimes imekuwa affect some of the projects that we have because the people who had pledged, they back out, the last minute and all that. So sometimes we find that we have so many unfinished projects, and kukiwa na unfinished project, remember that you promised somebody somewhere that you are going to help them. So we have to first of all deal with that person. By convincing them that you are still interested in helping them, while at the same time doing the best that you can to get the funds and maybe the support that you required and all that. Another challenge that we face is sometimes some of our beneficiaries become entitled when it comes to the help and all that. Unajua Afrika unapata umesaidia msee but imeanza kuwa ni kama haki sasa to a point where ukilemewa kumsaidia in one way or another, it becomes another issue. And you might even find yourself trending for some funny news and all that. And for me personally, it has been a burden because it has always been my desire to inspire every person that we try and help, apart from the children, because maybe the children in the place where they're in right now, they are not in a position to like help themselves. But for the families that we help, most of the times we try to inspire them to also know that they have a responsibility as far as their success and their progress in life is concerned. And it has been a challenge because sometimes when we help them also, unapata pia wamepata usaidizi pali pengine, especially from the politicians and all that. And some of the help that they are used to is more of handouts than something that is progressional and all that. So imekuwa ni challenge sana kujaribu kutembea nao mtu to that point of kumbuild na kumraise asimame mwenyewe as opposed to kumpatianga handouts kila saa. Na usipompatia handout anakuwa so entitled and all that. I think another challenge tumekuwa nayo is most of the times we work with young people and watu wa young ni watu transitional. Kwa life hawezi wazuia, ni watu wana grow and all that. So saa zingine unapata umepatia mse a big responsibility alafu duties za life zinamcall. So unapata hiyo place ulikuwa umetrust nayo na si kutaka, si makosa yake, hiyo ni life. So unapata you have to go all the way from where you are to go down to that person ile project pale imeachiwa ndo umchukue na uendelee na hiyo project and all that. Because like right now most of our staff and most of our helpers are volunteers. We are not in a position to pay them in one or another. So you are working under the masses of people and all that. So hizo ndo zimekuwa some of the challenges. Successes many. By the grace of God within 2 years we've been able to raise 2 million worth of cash and resources. And we have never knocked on any corporate door. Ni wase wametoa kwa mfuko yao na tupatia. That contribution I think ni 2 million worth of resources and funds and all that. And another success that tumekuwa nayo ni we had an event last year called Pikia Karao, whereby we mobilized young people to go and just serve the police in Buruburu police station. And the aim of that event was to bring the police and the youth together so that we can be able to talk and we can be able to at least understand each other as far as some of the things that are happening in our communities are concerned. And personally, naweza sema hiyo ndio imekuwa the most successful project because there are some people when their perspective of the way they used to look at a police officer imechange kabisa. Wamekuja kujua at the end of the day, this is somebody who is a human being like them and they are willing to serve the community. Kuna zile the best fruits na kuna zile good fruits in our police system and all that. And also for the police also they have come also to understand the young people that sometimes whatever they are going through si kila kitu ya kurusha mtu cell. Kuna zingine hata ukiongea tu na mse anarekebishwa and all that and all that. And we've also been able to inspire so many young people to get involved in their communities. There are so many people who were our members and wamepigwa transfer to other places in the country and they are doing amazing work as far as their communities are concerned where they are right now. Unapata wameanzisha tu projects kama Tuajali, wanasaidia watoi orphans wa for example Isiolo, Marsabit, Kirinyaga, all those places. Because our aim, our biggest mission, Tuajali aims to kill two birds with one stone. The first bird is to inspire young people to get involved in their community. Ukiamka asubuhi umepika chai alafu ukate hiyo paketi ya maziwa utupe hapo hivyo nje kwenyu, tena utupe ingine hapo kwenyu, tena utupe hapo hivyo kwenyu. Zikipile up utaanza kuongea mbaya juu ya MCA Facebook, unasema MCA afanye kazi but it's your responsibility. Hiyo si kazi ya MCA. So tunataka kuwa train na kuwa groom by letting them know and teaching them that wherever you are it is your responsibility to make your community better. Wherever you are.
Kuna kitu umesema kuhusu giving handouts and raising people. So there are those people umesema you're raising them so that they can influence others, because you influence one, the other one influences the other person. So like how has it been in raising those people? Because tunambongo, don't give me fish, show me how to fish.
You know, the hardest place in ministry because sijui kama ni nature ya binadamu but I don't know, I think tunapendanga kupewa sana. I don't know. Let me not speak for everyone, but I think it's our human nature to just, I don't know how to put it. So it has been a challenge, but one thing that one needs to understand, especially if you're in a position whereby so many people are looking up to you, is you need to understand that building people takes time. Kujenga mtu na checking time. Unajua venye church imebuildiwa, kitu ya kwanza tulianza nao ni foundation. Foundation ndio ukiuliza mtu wote wa mjengo atakwambia foundation ndio inakuanga the nastiest work because uko ni kuchimba na kuanza kualign and all that. So many things zenye zanga involved. But once foundation imekuwa fiti, huku juu hata ustukange. Hata foundation ikiwa strong, you can even expand the building. So we focus so much on the foundation. And kitu ya kwanza unafaa kuonajua ni and then another thing is, the problem that sometimes we have, especially if we're involved in the community, is we tend to solve a problem that is not there. Unaelewa? Kama sahi, for example, acha nikuulize, ukienda slum sahi, shida ya kwanza yenye unafikiria iko kwa mind yako ni gani?
Shida ya kwanza hawana food. Hiyo ndio naweza fikiria, so naweza wapelekea chakula. Na
unaweza stoka wako na food. Na maybe hata hiyo si need yao sahi. Unaona? Ukienda tao sahi upate bega wote amekaa chini. The first thing that itakwambia ni
mtoe pesa mpatie.
Unaona? But unapata we tend to diagnose a problem that is not there. And once, especially when it comes to building people, you have to really diagnose the problem in that person. Unafaa kujua shida yao mseni gani. Because napatanga kuna mwingine hiyo handout ni culture amezoea.
Yeah.
So maybe una fight with that culture. Unaelewa? Unapata kuna mwingine maybe hayuko in a position to start from where you want them to start, but if you give them that thing that if you give them what they're asking you to give them, atajisaidia yeye mwenyewe. So first of all you have to understand the problem, then from there ni patience. Because kutoa culture si rahisi.
True.
Wewe kitu ulifundishwa ukiwa young, so many things bado umeshikilia.
True.
Si ndio? So unapatanga it's a culture that you are fighting with and you need to be very patient. And patience is everything when it comes to community. Because mtu amezoea handout, kabla umchukue tena uanze kumfundisha that yeye mwenyewe anazajiwakia and all that, it will take time. Na unapatanga saa zingine you might end up giving up on that person when you are close to solving that problem and all that. Yeah.
So kuna hii notion like I will help when I'm okay or when I have money. So and umesema your initiative is run by the help and the mercies of other people. So what can you tell a person mwenye anafikiria maybe he has that calling, because I think Twajali is like a calling, and even helping other people is a calling. Maybe there's someone out there thinking that anafaa kuwe na 100,000 or more so that he or she can start such an initiative. How can someone start small?
Hata si starting small, because I don't believe in starting small, because where you are, says the money small, because I normally say just start with what you have. Don't call it small. Start with what you have. Because there are so many people in history wenye tunaweza refer wenye they did I don't know, we can't even say it's wonderful, it's more than wonderful work as far as building their communities are concerned, and they did it with almost zero and all that. The first thing that I normally say is what do you have in your hands? Even though God aliuliza Moses, what do you have in your hands? Uko na gift ya kuimba? Ushaifikiria kwenda the children's home that is next to your place, ama that is close to your place, na uambie ni aje, wachani niwaimbie tu after moja, I entertain, ama ni groom wale wasi wanaweza imba kwa hiyo, watu wanaweza imba kwa hiyo home, wasaidie and all that. Ushai I have a friend right now who's a anakuanga rapper, ni a gospel rapper and all that. And what that person does is you endanga studio, ana record album, songs, anashikanisha CD moja na wimbo kama 3, anatengeneza CD for free, anaenda mtaani anapea mse na anahubiria mayouth akiwapatia CD free and all that. Wasa wanaokoka. Unaelewa? What do you have in your hands? Unajua kupika? Maybe unakuanga interested na story ya chef and all that. Have you ever thought of like let's say once after every 2 months upikie tu watu wa mtaa wale machokora wa mtaa, ama upike tu mtaani upatie watu food mtaani and all that? Itakucost kitu kidogo sana na uta impact life ya mse. Na hapo hivyo ndo sasa support inaanza kukuja polepole and all that. Let me give you a story. When we started Twajali, our first project ilikuwa ni children's home fulani. Na like when nilikuwa nasema tukiwa off camera, nilikuwa nasema kuna time sisi manze bill moja ya unga ilikuwa na require watu 50 ku raise. Bill moja ya unga ni 1000 roughly 1400 shillings. 1400 shillings tulikuwa na require watu 50 ku raise. Watu 50 ku raise. Na watu 50 umecall watu 50 ndio 20 wakikutoka 30 watabaki. Hivyo ndio tulikuwa piganga hesabu. Unaelewa? But hiyo ndio kitu tulikuwa nayo at that time. Na watu hata wakitutoka, the money that tulikuwa tunapata hata kama ni 500. Tulikuwa tunanunua mchele tulienda tukanunua mchele ya ile paper bag ya Marlboro. Tukaingia cereals tukanunua mchele. I think ilikuwa ka 3 kgs. Una imagine umeingia children's home ya watu ikaa so moja na mchele ya 2 kgs. Na tukasema tutakuwa tu faithful because tumejaribu na hiyo ndio tumepata. Na tukachukua mchele tukaenda tukacheza na watoi, tukatake photos na tukaenda mtaa. Na hivyo ndio sasa hiyo movement ikaanza kugrow. Sasa kaanza kusema ni aje by the last time mliona msiniache. tukaanza kuchukua watu pole pole, na movement inaendelea tu kigrow pole pole.
Wow.
So the question that I normally ask people, what do you have in your hands? Because every gift that God gave you, there's a way that you can make your community better with it. So don't even think about finances, because finances, money follows vision, and money follows also the mission that you have. Pesa tu ndio itakutafuta na watu ndio watakaa mtu wa kusupport baadaye. But the problem is, have you identified that one thing that you have in your hands, and are you faithful? Because that's another point. Maybe unajua what you have in your hand, but you are calling it small, na unaidharau. Unaelewa? Unaidharau. Na ukidharau, God hawezi kubless. Unaelewa? Because do not despise your humble beginnings and all that. Yeah.
I love when you umesema mtu anaweza imba akona gift, because most of the time inakuanga ukiangalia children's home venye umesema we have tunafikirianga the only thing I can do is to kupeleka chakula ama kupeleka nguo, and hiyo inatulimit, it's just limits us, because that is the only way we think we can help those people, and maybe they need that counseling and ulikuwa unasema they need yani psychological support and so many other things. They are also gifted. So hivyo.
Alafu kuna aspect inaitangwa, there's something there's a story of a guy called Caleb in the Bible. God alimsingle out. Alisema my servant Caleb has a different spirit. And the different spirit naweza sema pia ni different thinking. Like you are not supposed to see things from the perspective of other people. You're supposed to see things and your community through the lens of God. Na ukiangalia hivyo utaanza kuona problems zingine zenye watu wengi hawazioni, but unaweza ziona na identify a solution in them. Naelewa? Like your example nimekuambia of that project that we have. Right now rate ya depression iko very high amongst young people. Tumekuwa tukianalyze the problem. Watu wanasema ni stress, relationships and all that. Right now unajua watu wangapi wenye wanafanya counseling saa high school campo?
Very few.
Very few, sindio?
In fact, I only know one person at a personal level.
But ukishika wawili, obviously kuna watu wengi wanafanya counseling and all that. So mimi nikaa tu siku moja mtaani nikapitia phone yangu, the phone book and all that. Nikaona around 5 of them, around five of my friends who are counselors. So acha niwacall, niwaulize ni aje, are we available to that point of at least tunaweza reach out to the community through our services for free. Hata kama ni namba zenyu na zangu pia tuziweke tu nje, tuseme ni aje, kama kuna mtu wote anahitaji kuongea na msee, we are here. Sisi as the Twajali initiative tuko na wasee, tunaweza disperse in the community, waongelesha wasee for free. But what you have to do is just at least book an appointment so that we can be able to give you a slot and all that. So unapata ukiangalia things from the perspective of God anakupatianga uncommon wisdom. Unaelewa? To solve issues. Because kuna mse ako maybe for example yeye anafanya counseling na maybe sasa amekaa tu mtaani anagojea chuo ifunguliwe. But the experience that you have, you can do a lot for the community, because right now many people don't have the privilege of paying a counselor waende wasikize.
True.
But imagine ukipeana counseling services for free, the impact that utakuwa umecreate.
Wow. So, as we conclude, during this COVID season, there are so many people who are looking out for charity, especially food and everything. But pia kuna, like even when you ulianza Twajali, it's not that you don't have your own problems, ndio usaidie. Like most of the time, especially for leaders inakuanga, we are leading while we are bleeding. So what can you tell watu wenye wako there, when you umesema story ya raise people and to wasikue totally dependent on getting something, like what can they do to at least wapate resources pia na pia as in sisi wenye maybe tunataka kusaidia, what can we do during this season?
Okay. Umeuliza swali fiti sana. When it comes to giving and to helping, wajua hata tukizunguka aje, we still come back to the Bible. And we still come back to the spiritual perspective of it. Napendanga kutumia the story of the Good Samaritan. Ukisoma the story of the Good Samaritan, at that time kulikuwa na great hostility between the Jews and the Samaritans. And that is before, I'm coming back to your question. I want to make an example. Ukiangalia it's a parable. We are not told that ni msali. Hatujui kama theologians bado wana debating kama ni msali kwa na exist ama ni a parable. But at the end of the day, it's a lesson that we need to learn. Kulikuwa na hostilities between Jews and Samaritans, and the environment that they had at that time, the equivalent to this environment that we have right now, but on a different scope and all that. And one thing that really caught hiyo parable ikianza, kuna part yenye tu tuna ignore sana. I think hata naweza isoma, niko na hiyo scripture hapa. It's Luke chapter 10 verse 25. It's a conversation that Christ had with an expert of the law. Ndo akaelekea kwa hiyo part ya the Good Samaritan. And ndio msali alikuwa anamuuliza, teacher, what must I do to inherit eternal life? Ni almost kiasi na what you're asking, si ndio? Christ alimuuliza, what is written in the law? How do you read it? Then Christ alikuwa anaulizanga msee swali unashindwa. Okay. Then jamaa akajibu akasema venye law inasema, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength and with all your mind. And number 2, love your neighbor as yourself.
Wow.
Unaelewa? Jesus alimwambia nini? You have answered correctly. Do this and you will live. Nataka tuangalie aspect moja hapa before you go to the Good Samaritan. Kitu ya kwanza ni love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul and with all your mind. Ukipenda God, I think your narrative ni msemanya kwa married anaweza itoa poa, but ukipenda God, for example, ukipenda God and you love him with everything, vitu zenye zina please God ndo zitakuplease.
True.
Naelewa? And you will do anything to please the person you love.
True.
So in this case utafanya anything that pleases God.
Yeah.
Unaelewa? Sasa hizo maswali za how to nini zitakam, vitu zitakuwa zinakam tu automatically.
True.
Si ndio? You cannot love your neighbor if you don't love God.
Kabisa.
Unaelewa?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe kuna hizo, lakini mimi the perspective that I know is you cannot love your neighbor the way the scripture instructs if you don't love God. The first thing is you love God with all your heart. Unaelewa? And when you go, akipenda hiyo story of the Good Samaritan afterwards, one characteristic of the Good Samaritan is this, that humanity came first before anything else. Unaelewa? Ukisoma hiyo story yase wawili hakuwa naongeleshananga ase. It was a very hostile environment, but humanity was the first thing that came out of that person when he saw the man who was robbed and all that. Unaelewa? What Christ was trying to say, what Christ was saying actually, using this parable and using the example that ametumia ni hivi. Ukiweka humanity mbele, you will not be bothered by nitaenda kusaidiaje ama nitafanya nini and all that, because first of all you have God in you. Unaelewa? Na the wisdom that God atakupatia, ukipenda God na ushikilie God, you will of God.
Wow.
Unaelewa? Ukiona msee amesota ama amefanya nini, akili yako itakuwa ati msee akinitoka ama nini. Hapana, wewe utamsaidia. Humanity will come first. Then any other thing will come afterwards.
Wow.
And then another thing that especially we as Christians need to know is the world is looking for a good Samaritan. It is not looking for a priest or a Levite. Naelewa?
Yes.
Hiyo ni kusema the world is looking for solutions.
Wow.
And if those solutions will come from a pagan or a Buddhist, the world haitataka kujua. Unaelewa? When you look at the world, the way it gives and the way it helps its own community and all that, hawananga maswali mingi. Wakiamua kusaidia wanasaidianga. Unaelewa? And all that. But sisi wenye tuko na God, tunafaa kuangalia things from the eyes of God. There are so many places in the Bible where Bible mention Christ alishikwa na compassion to a point where akifidwa say the 5,000 people. Bible inasemanga Christ alishikwa na compassion ya kusaidia wase and all that. Unaelewa? So the only way that you can get that kind of radical compassion to be able to help our communities is when we first of all love the Lord our God with all our heart and start seeing things and start having a different spirit and start seeing things from the perspective of God.
Wow.
So that's the only way and time we'll be able to love our neighbor and all that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what do you hope to achieve in the future with Twajali?
We hope to instill a culture of volunteerism and community engagement as far as the youth are concerned. At least tukiachieve hiyo itakuwa fiti kabisa because we will not be too much dependent on bringing people together. Pali penye mtu yuko and all that ataweza kufanya nini, ataweza kuwa stirred up to do something for their community. And another goal that I have is for Twajali to nasemanga hivi watu wanacheka. Aim yangu ni Twajali tuifunge like iishe kabisa. Yeah. Meaning that naweza penda tufike to a point whereby Twajali haitakuwa na kazi anymore because the community is better.
Wow.
Yeah. Najua ni rahisi kusema nataka Twajali ifike to my fourth generation and all that. But I think my goal is for Twajali to lose its relevance after it has tackled the issue that it's supposed to tackle and all that. Yeah. Wow. Lastly, we want to be mission oriented more than organization oriented. Yeah, our mission is to make our communities better through helping the OVC and the needy families. Let's stick to that focus. Let's stick to that mission. Let's stick to that vision. If it will happen through Twajali ni sawa. If it will happen through God akituambia season ya Twajali imeisha, we'll obey. Yeah. And we'll shut down Twajali and we'll move on to the next thing. If we get to that point, I think we'll have achieved so many things that we desire to achieve. Yeah.
So before Twajali ifungwe, how can someone support Twajali?
In so many ways. Currently, right now as you're speaking, we are in the process of doing what I've just said, bringing up young people who have done counseling and psychologists and all that, to be able to at least start more of like a guerrilla movement of counselors in our communities, whereby young people will be able to access some of these services. If there's a counselor out there who is listening, na anaweza penda kutusaidia by just offering pro bono services as far as counseling is concerned, maybe anaweza nifikia. Namba yangu ni 0716-616-313, 0716-616-313 and all that. Another thing ni hii time wase COVID imechapa wase manze, kuna venye there are so many people, there are so many families that wanna struggle to get your food and all that. So if you're in a position also to help us, use the same number, 0716-616-313, and I believe from there we'll be able to link up.
So Alex, how can people reach out to you for the support of Twajali?
We are big on Facebook and Instagram at Twajali. Hiyo ndio handle yetu.
Twajali inaandikwa aje?
Oh, by the way, Twajali. It's TWAJALI. Sorry, LI. TWAJALI. So Twajali actually it's a corrupt slang of the word tunajali.
Oh.
Yeah, so ni tuajali. So tukasema tu tuiweke in a youthful way and all that. So TWAHJALI. I, not Y, I. Yeah. Twitter tuko for now. Because tunatumianga mostly photographs and all that. I think for us, Instagram and Facebook works for us.
Right.
Yeah. So I think we are only, see, I think we know. We are only on Facebook and Instagram. My personal social media handle is Alex Kimina. Alex Kimina. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Yeah. Snapchat nilijaribu nikashindwa. Yeah.
Iko na watu wao.
Iko na watu wao. Yeah.
Na namba?
Number, you can text, call, WhatsApp 0716 616 313. Tunaweza tumia both for Tuajali and my kunifikia pia. Yeah.
Sawa.
Yeah.
Sawa, amazing.
Yeah.
I think we are done for today.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
And before you leave,
Yeah.
so we have questions
Okay.
that we just want you to, it's like a game. So you will just you will answer 3 questions. And then
3
we
questions?
call it a day. Just pick any.
Zinakaa fishy.
They are not fishy.
Ati crack a joke. Naweza chukua ingine?
Hiyo wezi.
Wacha nichukue 4.
Sawa.
Yeah, joke ni naoma.
You're not a funny guy.
I'm not a funny guy. I'm the most boring guy in the room. When you're having a bad day, what do you do to make yourself feel better? Kweli mmetumwa. I sleep.
Wow.
Unajua naonanga kulala ndio the only nini.
Solution.
The only I think it's the only moment that you can just shut down and relax and all that and postpone all your issues and all that. And then afterwards I think when I'm fresh and all that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Next.
So tumeagree ni ngapi? Hii ni ya kwanza ama ni ya pili?
Kwa tuone kwanza.
What is the best advice you have received? Hey. There are many, but I think the one that stood out for me was advice. Okay, ni advice in terms of life ama ni
Yoyote, jibu tu yoyote.
yoyote? Advice na quote ni vitu mbili tofauti ama ni kitu moja?
Unataka kutupea quote? Sawa, tupe quote basi.
The best advice I got was it was more of a ministry. I was told that actually in line with Tuajali, somebody told me, one of my mentors told me that you are not Jesus.
Wow.
Aliniambia hivyo, you cannot die for everyone. Jesus already died for everyone. At that time I was going through an issue nilikuwa kuambia entitlement.
Yeah.
Kuna watu walikuwa like hey manze, you have to help us and all that, and I was not in a position to help them. And that person told me that you are not Jesus. There's only one Jesus who died and rose again. And ndio imekuwa my guiding force in as far as Tuajali is concerned, that there are some issues that we also need to leave some room for God to work.
Amen.
Hatuwezi fanya God pia akae tu hivyo ati si ndio God, hapana. So you are not Jesus. That was the best advice that I was given.
Lastly,
Yeah?
yes.
Finally. What accomplishment are you most proud? Hizi swali zako jo ni sophisticated. Are you most proud of? What accomplishment are you most proud of? Accomplishment. Okay, there are many, to be honest and to be modest. But I think the fact that we've been able to, the event that we had, the one that I've told you, where we brought the cops and the young people together, I think for me, it stood out for me because I saw how it helped to change the narrative that we normally have as far as these two people are concerned. And ilitufungua macho kabisa. Another achievement maybe I can say is accomplishment is salvation. For me, salvation. I think ni accomplishment salvation ama ni
Ni accomplishment. Kuna watu bado hawana salvation.
I think for me, I cannot see anything that apart from maybe kuzaliwa. Sioni kitu yenye inaweza surpass salvation because it does not mean that life imekuwa easy, but nimekuwa tu na some peace since the day I got born again. Yani hata naweza kuwa tu in the midst of chaos, but I have peace that I cannot even explain and all that. Yeah, so I think ni hizo tu.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So guys, it's a wrap. Thank you for allowing us into your space. Don't forget to subscribe to our online platform at PCA Unity Youth Podcasts at IG and YouTube. God bless you.